Hello and welcome to another weekly vlog, people. It is Tuesday. I don't think I've much to update you on this week. Oh, I have loads of things to do. I need to drop off a load of bin bags full of clothes when I had to like completely empty my wardrobe because that's where a radiator is that the engineer had to sort out. I filled about 5 bin bags of clothes to go to charity shop. Darren never gets rid of clothes, ever. I clear out my wardrobe every couple of years. So some of the stuff I've had for years and years and years, and I've kept it thinking, I like it, I just haven't really worn it, but this year I'm like, if I don't wear it, it's going. So I've got rid of things I've never actually even worn. I've just got them. It's like the dress I bought for Isaac's christening. Just a little jersey dress and it was black and white and I just really like the dress, but I haven't worn it since, and it's like, why am I keeping this? I haven't worn it in 13 years. So I got rid of it, you know, things like that, things you keep thinking, oh, I'll get a wear out of that again, and you know, you never will. So I've got a few bin bags in the boot to go to the charity shop, and I've got some like sports kit of Isaac for the local GAA club. I've been able to give some of those away, and his cool camp stuff, some of that, like half zips and stuff that's actually quite expensive, but other kids that are in the GAA, which is like a football club basically but Gaelic, they can get a wear out of it because you know how expensive football shirt kits are. So we've managed to get them to another kid out here, so that's good. So the guy came, right, I'm still talking about the flipping heating. Senior engineer came yesterday, really nice guy. He managed to sort out the heating. We now have heating, we don't have hot water. So there's something he's coming to replace that he thinks it might be. I don't think it is, but I can't remember what it is, but what it is sounds too simplistic. There is a safety override switch for the boiler, which is one of the issues as to why it kept shutting down. There was a massive amount of trapped air in the system that the other guy obviously couldn't get out. This guy managed to get it out, used the safety override, and the heating's back. It was only there about 2 hours, which maybe sounds a lot, but given the other guy was there multiple days, one of which to 10 o'clock at night, you know, and the day before that 10 o'clock it was there from 10 till 9 to half 5, so he had a lot of time. So the other guy's ordering, a single magpie just flew in front of the car, I hate it. He's ordering whatever part this is we need, and then obviously he'll have to come out and fit it. It's like, oh Jesus, is it never ending? So Isaac got his English exam mark back yesterday. I was really impressed, 90%. Isaac doesn't like English, he's got no interest, and what doesn't help is they've just started to do Shakespeare. I told Isaac I hated Shakespeare at school. You're not allowed to say that Shakespeare's overrated because he's meant to be a genius, but I'm sorry. If Johnny Rotten can say he thinks Shakespeare's hideously overrated, then so can I. I just don't get the hero worship. We studied Henry IV at school for GCSE. The only thing I remember about it is a character called Falstaff who was a drunk. Isaac is doing The Merchant of Venice, and it's like, you can't just read the thing and know what's happening. You have to like read it and think, what the hell does that mean? And for a 13-year-old, you know what I mean? It's like, oh. But I spent a lot of time so I had to read the part that they were going to be studied on to try and like, of The Merchant of Venice, which is basically a play about a guy. He's Jewish, he's a moneylender, he gets a lot of persecution from Christians. So he in turn doesn't like Christians because of how they have treated him. And he makes a deal, he's a moneylender, he makes a deal with the Merchant of Venice, Antonio, who everyone likes. Everyone hates this guy. That if his money is not paid back within a certain amount of time, you've probably heard the expression a pound of flesh. well, it comes from the Merchant of Venice. He is going to take what he, if the guy can't pay him, he is going to take a pound of flesh from this guy from whatever part of the body he wants. So if he wants to take this guy's heart, he can do. And the other guy is so, like, and Antonio is so arrogant and so confident that he will have this guy's money paid back that he enters into the deal. So this is what they're studying. So I went into sort of like, they need to do things like identify, my brain switched off. They had to identify language techniques like similes, metaphors, allusions. I had to explain to Isaac what an allusion is. It's like they uses that all the time, so you must remember that and you must use it. When you allude to something, when you refer to, that was a grind, when you refer to something. So like they compare this woman's hair to the golden fleece from Jason and the Argonauts. So I had to explain to Isaac what Jason and the Argonauts and the golden fleece was, and you know, this character wanted to win this woman like Jason won the golden fleece, and obviously it was also a metaphor because her hair was being compared to gold, you know, blah blah blah. So I went through all of it with him, pointed out all the metaphors, similes, allusions, that just loads of different language techniques, and explained them all to him. We went over a character study of what's the main, Shylock, the main character. He's the Jewish moneylender and the best character in the Merchant of Venice, in my opinion. And we went over, I says, right, if you're asked to do a character study on anyone, it's going to be Shylock. So we went into a lot of detail about Shylock's character, and in my opinion, now we haven't read the whole of the Merchant of Venice yet, but I know what happens. But Shylock is the bad guy. Shylock is the protagonist, the antagonist, which every good play, good movie needs to have. But I seem to be quite alone in thinking he's quite, he's not just one way. He's not just a bad guy. People don't go into, the persecution he has had at the hands of Christians for his Jewish faith, how he's been treated. He does bad things, but then I also feel that Antonio, who's the Merchant of Venice, he has got really horrible qualities. We can't just look at, Antonio's a really good guy and he shows this by this, and this, and Shylock's a really bad guy and he shows that by all of this. I think you have to show different facets of different characters and discuss them, and I was really adamant with him about that. I says, think about it. Every character is multidimensional, and Shakespeare is trying to show that aspect, that vulnerability of Shylock and about how he's been treated. And Antonio even says, I will still treat you this way even after this deal. I will still spit on you. I will still call you a dog. And it's like, this is supposed to be the good guy. So he got 90%, so I'm really pleased. And he found the test really easy, so that's good. It's good to actually feel that you've helped a little bit for him to understand, because he was really struggling with Shakespeare, and I completely understand why, because I hate it as well. It's terrible. Although what's different for them that we didn't have, they have the Shakespearean text, and alongside it they have almost a translation in English. It's still quite highbrow, but it's it takes out the old-fashioned words, and Shakespeare tends to mess around with the order of words and stuff. It takes all that out, so it's in English, even though it maybe is quite difficult to understand. So yeah, to me, Charles Dickens is what they should be studying in school, something like that, because if you read any of Dickens' work, even if you can't be bothered to read anything by Dickens, listen to the narration and I'm going to say it, Muppets Christmas Carol has got a lot of the original Dickens text in it. It's Gonzo that's narrating it, isn't it? Listen to the actual words in the text, and it's beautiful, just how everything's put together, how the words weave the story. I love Dickens. To me, that would be a joy to study in school. In saying that, last year they did do A Christmas Carol which was fantastic for Isaac because he knows the story inside out from me watching A Christmas Carol. And even though it may sound ridiculous, Muppets Christmas Carol is one of the closest in language to the actual. It's my favourite like piece of writing. Well, I have two favourites. Christmas Carol is my favourite novel, it's my favourite book, but my favourite piece of writing is The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. So, waffling crap at you today, folks. So I'm going into my mum's. It's not too bad a day. We'll probably be going out for our usual wander. Can't think of anything really else to tell you, to update you on. Isaac's at school this week and next week, and that's him off for summer. So yeah, I shall go and check in with you when I have anything of any relevance to tell you. God knows when that will be. So I shall speak to you guys later. Hello, it is Tuesday. Is that bright enough? No, it's not. What day is it? Wednesday. Look how I look. My eyes look really red. I haven't put makeup on today. You know, let's be shameful. I haven't taken the eye makeup off that I put on yesterday. I know, it's a disgrace. So I'm going to show you a Tik Tok Shop Haul today. I have only one item of clothing. It's Susie's fault. She did one and I love the stuff. So I got some stuff and I will be getting some more stuff. When you hear the prices, so shall you. Right, so I'll start with the one clothing thing I got, which was neighbour plus size collection. So this is in an XL, which I think is an 18. I'm not sure if it's an 18 or 20. I think it's an 18. And it is like a stretchy jersey dress, full length. That's the colour. I'm going to put a little clip in that I recorded earlier, putting it on to let you see it on. I'll put that in now. Right, let's see. I can't see myself from too far away. Look guys. Pockets. I know you can't polish a turd or any of them things. I wanted something green because I think green goes with my hair now. So it's just like a jersey dress. It's really stretchy. It has pockets, although I don't know what you'd put in these pockets. I spent half an hour trying to get my arm into the pocket thinking it was the sleeve. And it is, hang on, I'll go far enough back. That's how long it is. So I'm in my slippers. So it's just about the right length. I'm 5'6". So yeah, not that I'm going to be putting this anywhere for anyone to see it other than you guys. I felt inspired by Sue's TikTok shop. I really want to get the black trouser suit that she bought because I don't have any and it's really nice and it was really flattering, and she bought a dress, it's beautiful, which she was sent by accident, which is stunning, and I've got one quite similar actually. It's a really flattering dress. So yeah, it's the sort of thing, oh, a cardigan with this, I don't like my arms. It's the sort of thing that's really comfy to wear if you don't want to, yeah. Oh, my boobs are too big. We need to get weight loss, folks. We've, the last week or so, I've completely fallen off the weight loss thing and the exercise thing. So that's not good. I need to get back into it. So yeah, the dress, that's the little dress. That was £12.49, which is the most expensive thing on this list. I forgot to get my necklace. Right, I'll take footage out of something I think I wore it yesterday, so I'll take the footage out and let you see. It's a little, like a little gothic star necklace. It was £1.34, so you will see like a little screenshot or something. I mean, £1.34, and it's really cute. It'll probably make my neck go black eventually, but £1.34, guys. So here's my wee bag. Let's cover off postage label, so it's not too much. So I've been using this first, so it's out of its box. This is retinol, day and night retinol collagen vitamin A. It's a moisturizer. The reason I bought it is because it said collagen, and God knows we need as much as we can get because droopy face. So I don't know if it's doing anything. I've only used it a couple of times. It was, I've written down the prices of stuff here. £2.96 this was. So if it does anything, it'll be worth it. Should I get, oh, I did keep the little box. Moisturising face cream, vitamin A, C and B5. Use it morning and night, and Granted, I only usually use at night when I'm washing my face and taking my makeup off. My skincare routine leaves a lot to be desired. Okay, this is a retinol eye stick that apparently hydrates, firms, brightens, smooths fine lines. God only knows we need that. Haven't even had it out of the packet yet. So it just looks like a little like lipstick type thing. Okay. So we'll try that tonight. We shall let you know if it's any good. It was £1.34. Last of the high spenders here. I think all this lot came to something like £18. So that's that. Next is eyeshadow stick set from Lang Mani Makeup. Now I think these might be like sheer, you know, like not matte, which is not good when you're older, but I may only use it for a tiny little, like, you know, right on here. So that's like a brownie sort of colour, you can see it, but they're all different. But it's a nice little, there's loads of, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 8 pencils, and they're like, yeah, you can see the way that one's a little bit more sheer. The light's not really helping me, guys, is it? These look like they're all sort of like earthy colours. Let's go a bit further up. Yeah, they're all very similar sort of colours. I just wanted something that had a little bit of like glittery sort of thing. I don't think these are going to be quite as glittery as that last one's really yellow. I won't use that. So when I use them, I will let you see what they look like. But they were pencils. These were 82 pence. 82p. Worth it for a try. Eh? Okay, now this is going to sound really ridiculous. I saw these on TV and apparently they're all the rage at the minute. They are spot stickers. No, I'm not going to go out. Apparently teenagers now, it's a big thing to put a sticker on your spot and wear it. What I got these for is if I take spots, which I don't take proper spots that often anymore. These are supposed to have stuff in that help them like heal. Tea tree, which I know actually does really help spots because I usually put it on mine. Hazel water, sodium hyaluronate. Oh god, I can't even say it. So anyway, they're like little stickers. And it's like quite a trendy thing to do. There's like little clear ones, stars and hearts to put them on spots. So Isaac's starting to get, not many, not big pimples, he's getting them around here. So like the clear ones, I mean, like when he's in the house and going to bed, he could pop one on and they might help sort of like dry it out. So you just stick a spot, Hit Worker Hydrocolloid Acne Emergency Patch, gently absorb pimple gunk in 6 to 8 hours. So these were £1.12. Saw them on TV, apparently they're all the rage at the minute. Okay, what's this? So this is Tatty Beauty. It's a nice little box. This is an eyeshadow in colours that I really like, although I've forgotten that thing that when you change your hair colour, that's why I got the green dress. I keep looking at red clothes because red always suited me with dark hair. Now I need like green stuff, and I suppose this eyeshadow's maybe not gonna... I was told I have cool colouring, so I should be wearing like greys and silver eyeshadow. So there you see, I love stuff like, you know, like that one to go like right on here. And then there's like ones that aren't as shiny. So yeah, worth a try for £1.95. It's nice though, isn't it? It's a cute little box. Tatty Beauty. So that was £1.95. Hope I'm not boring you. This I actually bought as a present for someone. Don't be a... I refuse to say the C word. Hopefully you can see it there. That was 49 pence. So that's like I'm buying someone bits and bobs for their birthday, and that's one of the little things. I bought another necklace which I haven't worn as yet. The little star one, was £1.34. This one was 79p. So it's like a little snack. How can I show it? Should I put it on my jumper? So it's like a little snack that you wear. Just really plain chain. It's probably going to be really like, make me green like. But I thought it was quite cute. Little snack necklace. Yep, so that was 79 pence. I mean, how are they sending things for this price? I mean, so that's that one. And I kept this for last because I wanted to show you that, like, I'm perfectly pleased with everything here that I've got. But one thing which I've kept for last now. And I'm going to put in the picture of what this was meant to look like first. 89 pence, I should have known better. So, it came in this. This is like a thing that you hang from, you know, like where you put your air freshener in the car. So it's got one of those like cheapo chains, which is fine because I'll just be hanging it in the car. I'm sorry, but now I can see that there's a sort of film on this. Let me take it off and see if it makes any difference. You can see the other side of it, I didn't realise. So I suppose it's quite cute. It's 89 pence it only was, but it makes it look like it's like 3D, you know what I mean? It doesn't look flat in the photograph, but I suppose if that's my only complaint, I shouldn't really be complaining because it was only 89 pence. So yeah, that's the few bits I got from Tik Tok Shop. I shall be back again to have another look because stuff is so cheap. It's quite good if you're like gathering up little bits and pieces for someone's birthday or Christmas or something, because they do quite reasonably priced stuff if you're struggling a bit in the financial department like myself. So yeah, hope you enjoyed seeing those little bits. If I get any more, obviously I will show you. I will also pop in one of Susie's videos at the end where she bought the trouser suit that I really like, and she got the dress that she didn't order. She got it by accident and absolutely loved it. I will pop that in at the end if I can remember which vlog it was, and you can check out some more like clothes from Tik Tok Shop. So yeah, I shall speak to you later, guys. I don't know if I did mention as it was going water skiing with Scouts. Waterski taster. Can't find out what that means because nobody's given us any information. I even contacted the actual place that are running it and got no response. So I thought, hang on, is he going to need a wetsuit? Actually, I think I did mention this to you. The Scouts hadn't said they needed a wetsuit, but he said, oh well, we can't guarantee that they'll have one that will fit, which means some kids may be paying to go do this thing and they may get there and not able to do it because there's no wetsuits. So surely they should have been making people aware of that. Now, Isaac never is going to need a wetsuit other than for that, and I wasn't buying a new wetsuit, so I went onto eBay and I found one that was the right size, a shorty wetsuit. I don't want a full long one, like short sleeves, short legs, for I think it was under a tenner anyway. With postage it was about, I don't know, 12 or 13 pounds, something like that. And it said it was going to be posted between Saturday just gone and Tuesday just gone. This is Wednesday. He needs it for this Saturday morning. I emailed the woman when I ordered it saying, you know, can you confirm it will definitely arrive by Tuesday at the latest because he needs it. And no response. I left it go a few days, still nothing. So I emailed again and said, can you provide the tracking number so I can keep an idea where it is? Because she'd advertised Royal Mail 48-hour tracking. And I'm thinking, right, even if it goes a day over, it will be here on Wednesday. So I waited until today, nothing. No response to any of the messages. When I went on to eBay, she's changed the delivery time. It originally said Saturday to Tuesday, so the 15th to the 18th of June. And I knew it had because I said in my original message, I know it says on your ad, Friday or Saturday to Tuesday. Can you confirm it definitely will be here? She's now put it as between Friday coming and Monday. And it's like, well, I'm not going to have pulled Saturday to Tuesday out of my arse. Where have I got that from? Thankfully, I'm anal enough to keep, speaking of putting things up my arse, to keep everything. So I went into my email folder, or my eBay folder in my emails, and there it was, your order with between Saturday and Tuesday written on it. So I know they can say, right, well, you know, it's not our fault it hasn't arrived, it's Royal Mail's, but she needs to prove that she has posted that within the time frame that she promised, which I don't think she's going to be able to do. But she's ignored all emails. I have to wait 3 working days for her to come back to me before I can put it forward to eBay. I know it's only like 13 quid or something, but it's better in my pocket than hers. So if I get it, like, the problem is I can't leave it and hope it will be here in time, because if it isn't and Isaac goes and can't do it, I'll feel awful, because he's missing jiu-jitsu as well, which I'm not entirely happy about. And this is the last event for the Scouts before the summer. So I want him to be able, you know, we're paying for him to be able to do it. So, you know, so I knew if I wanted to get another one before Saturday, I had to get it on Amazon, because it's the only place really that generally guarantees your delivery. So I've had to buy a new wetsuit. Now, thankfully I got a really cheap one. I got one for 15 something, so it was really cheap. Wetsuits are usually at least 30 odd quid each. So it's got delivery Friday. So he's doing this thing first thing Saturday morning, so this best come on Friday. If the other one comes from that other woman, I don't know what I'm going to do in the meantime, because I told a pork pie, I told her I needed the wetsuit for Thursday, because the event was on Thursday when it's actually on Saturday. But I wanted to make sure, because, like, example, we posted on track delivery a present for Alice, Kelly's daughter, last Monday. So like a week and 2 days ago. They only attempted delivery this Monday, so it's taken them a week. Now, granted, it was sent second class recorded, but I would have expected first class is meant to be 1 day, second class is meant to be 2, push it to 3. Absolute worst case scenario, potentially 4. But we sent it with plenty of time to get there for Alice's birthday, and it didn't arrive for her birthday, which I hate doing that. I suppose, like, a child won't care, because then it's more presents for them to open at a later date, but it's not the point. So they tried to deliver on Monday, which was a week later, so Royal Mail just, you know, the delivery's crap. I don't know where I was going with that, but I don't think she can be held to, for me to say, right, I want a refund, take your wetsuit back, you can pay for delivery because you didn't post this. So she would have to provide the tracking information that would say exactly when it was posted. And if it was posted at a time where it wouldn't have reached me within the timescale she told me, surely then I should be entitled for a refund. Surely. And I just have to... There's only been one occasion that I can remember where I ordered something on Amazon and it didn't come on time. Only once. So please pray that this comes on time, because it must arrive by Friday for Isaac to have it for Saturday. Also, let's hope it fits. Because I had an hour and a half to order it, so I couldn't even wait for him coming home from school. I'm going by my memory of what I measured his waist and his chest at. It's age 13 to 14, which was the biggest size this company did, so it should fit, because Isaac's not like excessively large for his age. As a matter of fact, he's shorter than most of his friends, so 13 to 14, with him being 13, should be fine. Fingers crossed. So I'm livid. I mean, you go onto eBay to get something to, like, try and help you out, because you kind of, you know, I'm not going to go out and buy a new wetsuit that's going to be worn once, because he's had 3 wetsuits and the only time he's worn them was for like a one-off scouting event every summer. And each time we've bought a second-hand wetsuit, we've never bought a new one, because there's no point. So yeah, that's that. So that's about it for today. Ciara's coming over tomorrow with Sophie, her little girl. She's 3. She lives just across the road. She's just never been over before, so she's coming over tomorrow. So I'm hoping the dogs behave themselves and don't go mad. I know Sophie loves dogs, so she'll hopefully enjoy if they behave. You just never know what a dog's going to do if a kid pokes them or anything, you know what I mean? So fingers crossed. So yeah, I shall check in a later date, folks. No word from the engineer as yet. Don't know what's happening. We still don't have hot water. It's not great. We're having to use the immersion heater a lot, which I dread to think what that's doing to the electricity. But what can you do? Right, I shall check in with you guys potentially tomorrow, maybe Friday. Right, I'll not tell you the surprise then.
I'm hidden. What?
Right, you can tell him because you're tagging him.
No, you can tell him.
You're tagging him.
No, it's your job to tell him. You can inform. You can inform him.
Right, your dad's bought one of your birthday presents. February, you're going to Dublin to see Pantera in concert.
I didn't.
Yes. I'm not going because it was so flipping expensive. I didn't want to buy 3
How much
tickets.
was it?
A lot. Most expensive ticket I've ever bought.
100 quid each, is it? Yes. So for your birthday, you're going to Dublin to see
It's the Friday
Pantera.
before. Your birthday's on a Friday, and it's the Friday before. And you're going from 13 to 14. Our seat ticket numbers are number 13 and 14.
So are you pleased?
What do you think?
No, it is. What are we on? Friday. I just thought I'd give you a little catch up when I'm not in the car. So yesterday Ciara came over, our neighbour from across the way, with little Sophie, who's 3. And it was really nice. We got a chance to have a bit of a chat about stuff. We've so much in common about birth stories. It's ridiculous. She had a really, really hard time when she had her daughter. Just got to chat about loads of different stuff. She brought me a bunch of flowers. She bought Isaac a tablature book for Green Day, and she bought Darren a massive Toblerone. It's like, you don't have to bring things over. She even brought her own tea bags because she has decaf. I mean, just tell me, I'll buy. She's such a nice girl. But you know, she doesn't get out much. She's at home with a little girl and stuff. But yeah, it was a really nice afternoon. Just chat bollocks, basically. No Scouts tonight. They have water skiing tomorrow. At the last minute. That if you've heard me talk about Ruben, Alan will be going, oh, that little shit. He's going now last minute. He added himself to the list, which I'm not happy about because it means he'll be hanging off Isaac all day, trying to arse about. I'm nervous enough about Isaac going water skiing without knowing he's going. They were told, cut off is this day, let us know before. They were reminded, nothing. Apparently he emailed one of the scout leaders last night, oh, Ruben wants to go water skiing. It's one of these things, I'd be like, you were given the chance, you didn't say no, is what I would say to my child. It's like, you know, you have to understand you can't have everything you want when you want it. But he decides well after cut-off date that he doesn't want it, he wants to do it after all. And they contact the leaders and he can do it. And I was like, fuck. So my piss is boiled. Darren found a dead cat this morning. The worst of it is it was ginger and white, and Ciara that was over yesterday, hers is ginger and white. She's got 2. And it's like, oh Christ. But she was talking about the fact they'd lost 2 cats on the road, because the road that runs up past the end of our cul-de-sac, where you see me drive out onto where those houses are, it's a fast road. Shouldn't be, but it is. And it's like, oh no. And Darren went over and her husband came out and had a look, and it wasn't their cat. And it's not next door's cat. So Darren's put like up on a logo, not a picture of the cat. He's taken a picture of like the fur, as it looks fine. There's nothing gory, but you know the markings on the fur, and he's moved it. He moved it from where it was into the side so it won't get hit. Not he doesn't want it to be a mess for whoever comes to. I mean, before we've actually, in our old garden, we've buried other people's cats in our front garden because we went everywhere to try and find owners and no one ever came forward, so we ended up burying someone's cat in our backyard. I don't like to leave them there. We found out yesterday that next door don't have 2 dogs, they've got 3 because Ciara told us, and their cat that always comes in our garden and annoys the arse off us goes in their cat flap and eats all the cat's food. And when their cats come in, and you know, like as it would kick off, like shh, I can't hiss like a cat. The cats would come in quite understandably pissed off that some other outside cats came in and ate all their food, and he won't go. He just stands there and holds his ground. He's a tomcat and he isn't neutered, which I think is wholly irresponsible to be letting your male cat out and not have it neutered. If you're going to allow some people keep their cats indoors, some people keep them like they've got enclosures in their backyard, some people let their cats out. Whatever you do, if you've got a male, actually, regardless if it's male or female, have it neutered. You know, it's irresponsible to be, you know, impregnating other people's pets' cats or getting yours pregnant and then trying to rehome these cats. But I think that's what sensible dog and cat owners do, you know, unless they're using the animal for breeding, which I'm not a massive fan of either, I have to admit. Obviously they have to breed somewhere or there would be no dogs or cats, but you know, knowing that your cat goes into other people's gardens, knowing that the people across the road have female cats, they're neutered thankfully, he's going into their house, eating their food, and it's not neutered. It's like, well, that explains why it's so persistent. You know, tomcats are much more wondery, you know, much more brazen. But we had a chat yesterday and it was really interesting. She was telling us about, and you remember my old neighbour, Alicia? I never used to say her name because it was Alicia. The troll, we call her, who was schizo. The woman wasn't right. And her two kids were, well, the girl was Beelzebub. She was awful. The woman that lives right opposite us beside Ciara that came to visit yesterday is called Bridget. I shouldn't be telling you all this, but fuck it. And we knew she was religious. We saw her once wear, you know, the Choose Life t-shirt that George Michael wore when he was in Wham, and we're sitting thinking, I don't think, she doesn't strike me as being a Wham fan. I wonder, is that an anti-abortion t-shirt? And I'm thinking, I'm not one that likes things being rammed down my throat, you know what I mean? People are entitled to their own thoughts on such things, of course you are, but I'll tell you my thoughts on these things. I'm not bothered. I don't agree with the abortion limit being what it is. I don't think people should be able to have abortions as late as they can. And when I say late, they are actually performing abortions at viable ages. I do think in cases of abuse or SA, I don't want to say it because you're not really allowed to on YouTube. I do feel a woman should have a right in that case. Other people feel they should follow through the pregnancy and they should adopt the child, but I feel sometimes in certain cases the emotional and psychological damage that could do for a woman. You know, I have the fact that I feel that is the woman's choice, but that decision should be made early. It's never something I've personally had to deal with, so maybe my thoughts are naive, I don't know. But I remember something personally, that tangent. When I was pregnant with Isaac, I was 35. I was considered a, what's the word they use? Geriatric mother. Geriatric, really? So they kept pushing the amniocentesis, which, if you don't know, is the test into your belly with a big long needle where they take some of the fluid. And is it the fluid? How can they tell from the fluid? Anyway, they put a needle into your belly, which does have a risk of miscarriage. It's a very small risk, but it's there. And they draw some fluid, and from that, they can tell whether or not your baby has Down syndrome. And I declined the test. Not because of the risk of miscarriage, but because to me it wouldn't have made any difference. I would have still had the child, and that's a personal choice of mine. But I was positively hammered over the head every time I went in. Why won't you have this test? You know, you really should be having this test. And I'm like, the test is specifically for Down syndrome. Yeah. And I'm like, well, oh, and you're a geriatric mother. And they kept saying because I was older, I was at higher risk of having a Down's child. It's like, I don't care if I have a child with Downs. I would still, if you came back with me with those results and said your child's going to have Downs, I would have still had the child. And I really didn't appreciate how the medical profession kept on and on and on and on at me, that I really should be having this test. And what if, I'm like, anyway, so that's my very quick views on abortion. It shouldn't be used as a form of contraception, shall we put it that way? It shouldn't. Some people are having 3, 4, 5, 6, and you know, if people are saying, oh, it's the woman's body, it's the woman's right to choose, if you're being that irresponsible and using it as a form of contraception, I begin to ask questions. And if you're having that abortion over 20 weeks, you know, I'd bring it down to 12 weeks as my, you know, and people say, well, you might not know you're pregnant. There obviously are extenuating circumstances, but anyway, I'm not on my fucking high horse. That's my thoughts anyway. But she's walking about with this Choose Life t-shirt, and I'm like, right, okay, some people are very in your face about such things. But we knew she was religious because Alicia had told us. And she says, oh, if you're ever talking to Bridget, don't swear because she's very good living. That's what they call religious here, very good living. And I'm like, all right, okay. And I respect that. And, you know, I'm very careful. Now, Ciara's family would be, her husband's mum was my teacher in school. She taught me home economics for 1 year. Lovely woman, very religious. She's actually friends with one of my mum's best friends from school. My mum, very religious. So Ciara would be religious, not overly so. She laughs at Father Ted, she swears, she says things that really devout religious people shouldn't be saying. But she would be like, Thomas had really epilepsy that was so severe when, this is going somewhere, he had epilepsy that was so severe when he was a child that he could die from it. It was that bad. And then when he was 10, it disappeared. Now, she said something to me yesterday like Thomas, or Mary, Thomas's mum, prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed, and then it went away. Now, that says to me that she is religious in a way because she felt that praying made that go away, but that wouldn't be my thoughts. But I'm very much respecting other people's if that may be the case. Who knows? None of us know. So anyway, that tells me that Ciara she's a very genuine person. She's a very gentle person. She's a very nervous, anxious person. And she's one of these people that wouldn't say boo to a goose. You know, I could tell it took a lot for her to come over yesterday. She was very nervous. But she really needed to, you know, to reach out. You know, to have a friend to talk to and stuff. And she's such a lovely woman. Anyway, we were talking and she told me that I remember Bridget having a birthday party, and if you're a parent you'll know that bouncy castles is quite a common thing. It is here anyway. So when her kids had their birthday party, they had a bouncy castle. I had one for Isaac when he finished primary school, and Alicia had one for her kids as well. So we've all had one. And we'd thought a couple of weeks ago, is that Killian, Alicia's son? I'm sure I've just seen Killian over there. Surely to God she hasn't invited that troll's kids to this birthday party, because we knew she was so religious, and we know that Alicia's kids are little fuckers, especially the little girl, foul-mouthed, just nasty, and I couldn't gather that she would let her kids mix with them. Anyway, it was them, they were there. But what really angered me is Ciara said, now Sophie is 3, and Sophie lives next door to them, and Sophie would have played with Bridget's 2 children. They didn't invite Sophie. They left her with the big bouncy castle next door to her house. Everybody in it having fun, shouting, bouncing, including them little shits that don't even live here anymore. And they left Sophie out and didn't invite her, and Ciara was really upset, and I can understand that. And what boils my piss is, I apologise for swearing, when Ciara was in their house, she was talking, and this is something I do all the time, and she says, oh my God. And the 2 kids, one of them's about 4, the other one's maybe 3. Mummy, did you hear what she said? She said God. And Bridget was like, we don't allow them to take the Lord's name in vain in this house. And basically dressed her down for saying, oh my God. Darren says, well, she didn't want to hear me when I stubbed my toe then. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so she made Ciara feel like really small for saying, and she's like, oh, I'm really sorry, and she apologised, and as she would, it's the sort of person she is. And I dread to think what Darren would have done if she had said it to him. But she apologised, and then another occasion she was talking to her, Mary, her mother-in-law, my ex-teacher, has really bad pains, she has arthritis and all sorts, and they talked her into trying Reiki. So I know, well, next door's drilling something. I know nothing about Reiki, but if it works, it works. I don't know. But it's an alternative therapy, isn't it? So she went and she tried Reiki for her pains. And Bridget's always asking about Mary because Mary's quite religious. And she said, oh yes, she went and she did Reiki the other day for her arthritis. And Bridget was like, she did what? Oh, she's let the devil in. That's it now. She's let the devil in. She'll have to pray. And I'm thinking, what? This woman's fucking mental. Apparently she goes to the chapel and kisses the floor. She's nuts. Now, fair enough, if you want to be religious, I'm not saying being religious is a bad thing, as long as your beliefs aren't doing any harm to anyone else. A lot of wars are fought in the name of religion, all that stuff, but if your idea of religion is just to say your prayers, to believe that there's something after we die, to trust in that and have a faith, more power to you. I'm undecided, I'm agnostic, I don't know what the hell's going on in the world, but I'm open to anything. But to invite those 2 kids, she basically makes Ciara feel like Ciara's not good enough because Ciara said, oh my God, and and the recce thing, and they excluded Sophie. Her kids wandered into Sophie's backyard and they were playing, and Ciara was watching them, which is something that Bridget didn't flip and do. And Bridget came storming in, "What are my children doing in here?" She's kind of making out like she doesn't want her kids. And I mean, Ciara's one of the sweetest, nicest girls. You know, too much so. You know, she would let people walk all over the top of her. Such a nice person. And but she invites trolls kids. That little cow that sat and made up all those lies about Isaac kicking, that admitted she lied. That's apology was more like, "Damn, all right," and that's her voice. And Darren says, "Actually, no, you didn't say you were sorry." And then she's like, "Say you're sorry now." Just, oh, the family. Oh. And Darren says, well, maybe she sees it as she's trying to save them or something. But she's kept a relationship with a vitriolic cow that pretty much everyone that lives here knows what she's like. Her kids are nasty, and yet she's being judgmental against one of the nicest people I've probably ever met, and excluding a 3-year-old girl from a birthday party. I mean, I didn't show how cross I was because I don't want to... She's such a gentle person and such an anxious person, I didn't want to, you know... But I thought, fucking hell, well, I'll tell you a lot, but I tell you, but if you've got kids, you will feel my fury at the thought of that little girl being excluded, and she's living next door to a little girl exactly the same age as her and a little boy a year older. And I feel sorry for those kids because what they're being brought up and what they're being taught, and when they go to school and they start, you can't say that, you can't say, they're going to be bullied, something shocking. That woman is like, if you've seen the movie Carrie, you know what Carrie's mother's like? You know, that brainwashing, oh, dirty pillows, all that stuff. They're all going to laugh at you. It's like that. Honestly. Makes me cross that she's, you know, there's no other kids around, and, you know, she's just turned 3 a couple of weeks ago, and her mum's too nervous to send her to nursery because she went to childcare one day a week. And she had a really, really bad reaction to it. She would cry so much she'd be sick. But the little girl's so nice, so social. So, you know, she was screaming in delight at the dogs. She was playing with them and so well behaved. Such a lovely little girl. I think she'll do really well in school when she goes. But Ciara's just really, she's really nervous to send her to preschool. So it's just a shame. I just can't get over it. And the thing is, we've seen, I think I probably mentioned this before, we saw when that little girl was much smaller, Bridget would come out because Ciara said her house is pristine, there's not a thing out of place, everything is spotless, and she's got 2 young children. And I probably would have kept it to myself, to be honest, but Darren says, oh, well, I'm not surprised. Sure, she used to put the young one in the car in the morning, put the engine on and shut the door and leave her in there for 3 hours. And Ciara was like, she did what? Darren says, yes, she'd have the kid, she'd lock the kid in the car and the engine would be on. He says the first time, he's like, oh, her engine's on, maybe she's forgotten, he was going to go tell her. And then he realised that she kept coming out and putting the kid in the car with the engine running and fucking off back inside the house for, I mean, up to 3 hours at a time while she wanted to do what she was going to do. I mean, also, I don't know if I was recording last week, I was being followed home that time there was the accident. There was somebody right up my arse, and I'm saying to Isaac, this guy who's going to cause an accident. It was her husband across the way. And he drives this flatbed van, and he allows the 2 kids, 5 and 3, to stand up in the front footwell, not sitting down, no seatbelts on. And the way this guy drives, he drives so fast, so erratic. And I'm like, something's going to happen. Darren spotted the boy, the 5-year-old, playing on the upstairs windowsill with the window wide open, and I mean a big wide window that a kid can fall out. It's like, and she's judging someone that is one of the best mums. She's protective of her child, but watches everything she does because she said, oh my God, and because her mother-in-law had Reiki. I've no fucking words. I've been prattling for 20 minutes. Right, I'm going to go now. I just wanted to catch you up. The visit went really nice. I was really nervous. I explained to her, like, I'm just a really anxious person because her husband's the same. I says, I'm really introverted, quite antisocial actually. I says, I just get really, really nervous. And I could tell she was nervous yesterday, and I wanted to sort of reassure her that I'm the same way. And she was so thankful and so nice. She actually said as she was leaving, you'll get a laugh at this, she said, "You're such wonderful neighbours." She said, "You're like neighbours you'd see on a TV or show or something. You're just perfect." I'm like, oh Christ. Just such a genuinely lovely, sweet, nice girl, and somebody else taking the piss out of her like that's annoying me. Calm down, Lisa. So Isaac has a wetsuit. It cost me with postage like £13 something. It's a shorty wetsuit, which means short arms, short legs. And I'm sure I told you because the Friday to Sunday thing. Anyway, long story short, she'd forgotten she put it on eBay and it had sold and she hadn't posted it. Now, thankfully, me being the worry monster that I am, went on Amazon and I found this one. So, like shorty wetsuit, it means it's like short arms and it comes to like the knee. So, and it's got the zip that runs right down the back. So I got him this one, $15.99. So it was only £2 more expensive than the second hand one, and this one's brand new. So it was on 2-day delivery. I ordered it on Wednesday and it was due to come on Friday today. And I'm like, oh God, no, I've only ever had one thing late from eBay once in my life. Please don't make it this time. And it came a day early. And I'm like, oh, thank Christ. So he's got a wetsuit for his waterski. It's just fallen on the ground. Right, I'm going to go. I've caught you up with everything. I shall let you know how the waterski thing goes. I don't think me and Darren are doing anything tomorrow because the timings are like 9 o'clock and then pickup's like 4:30. Nothing shows at the cinema until like mid-afternoon, so we wouldn't have enough time to go see a film. So I'll probably be Red Dead Redemption in tomorrow. A bit more Arthur Morgan. So thank you for watching, guys. I shall catch up with you later. Hello, guys. It is Sunday. I'm going to have to get my sunglasses out. Yes, you heard me correctly. Sunglasses. Where did I put them?
I get them.
We're just at the petrol station. Because, as always happens to me, I get into the car and there's no petrol, so Darren's putting petrol in. I'm paying for it like, but Darren's putting petrol in, so I can catch up with you. Yesterday, Isaac went the water ski thing. I had a really, really good time. I'm still trying to get footage. One of the leaders took it, but he took it on 3 or 4 different phones. So he's waiting on getting some of the footage back. And then if I get it back in time when I'm editing this, I'll pop it in. Did he just shout whoa or something? Did he go over? Was he, what does he put in?
$29.92.
Oh, he always does this. So I put 30 quid in, $29.92. Oh, he's gorgeous. It's a lovely, it's a little pug puppy in the car beside us. It's so warm today. I don't know what degrees it is, can I see? I'm at the, it's only 16, but in the car it feels, it's actually outside, it even feels hot. I can't put the engine on till I'm driving away because there's somebody parked really ridiculously. I'm actually just going to turn you around. I know you're blurred. That's the exit, as you can see from the black car. Look where that white one's parked. There's another car leaving. What?
Well, he has to do his washing. He must.
What? Well, Isaac, how many parking spaces? Let me move you. Look at the parking spaces beside that washing place. Why is he parked there? He's blocking the actual exit.
He's always parked there. He's fine.
Darren, just see him. So I can't think of anything else to tell you. Put these on ridiculously. I was just showing that fine piece of parking in front of us to everybody. Don't start Darren about parking. So it's a really nice sunny warm day. Just got petrol. Just gone into my mum's, having a quick stop en route to see if anyone's in Daniel's house to drop off that sports stuff. Say really enjoyed the water skiing yesterday. There was some footage of other people. They basically started off the kids that had never tried it before, like on almost like a small surfboard but on their knees.
It's basically you're on your stomach on it, and they start driving really fast and you have to like pull yourself up and balance them.
Hopefully you can hear that. Isaac has 3 days of school left and that's him done for summer. Can you think of anything else? We still haven't had the engineer to fix the water heater, so that's all I will mention about that. My dad messing about on his phone, as he has a wont to do when he stays up late in the morning. He was probably at the BT Club for a pint. 4 o'clock in the morning, 9 minutes past 4 to be precise, my mobile goes off and it's him. What's the first thing you're going to think if you get a phone call from a family member at like 4 o'clock in the morning? It's like, oh, so I phoned him back because it stopped ringing really quickly and it was answered or it was hung up. It was like, obviously he hasn't realised that it's rang me. And when he's like pressed cancel or something because he hasn't, my dad can't work out. He can't work. I'll tell you what that means in a minute. Actually, I maybe did already. I'm sure I did, maybe last week or earlier this week. Suze, that I watch her vlogs, she had a hay fever thing on one of her vlogs, and she put in the title about sneezing. Did I tell you this?
Yeah, but I didn't do a little Trump like she did.
She didn't do a Trump.
But she did.
And perverts were watching her sneeze, which is hilarious. She had a couple of sneezes this week. That's it. Yes, they made a long compilation. Sorry, it's really badly centered. A long compilation of multiple women sneezing. I mean, really.
Maybe on Pornhub.
Is this it in here?
Yeah,
No.
Further on.
You see that little post? It's
Keep going. There's a blue thing that's.
Yeah, I can see it now. Right, I'm going to switch you off until I come out of here. Right, I'm back. The dad was in, so we managed to get stuff dropped off. Don't feel like I finished telling you everything.
Farting.
Yeah, we were talking about Sue's sneezing.
Farting, wasn't it?
That's just madness. That is a compilation, and there's perverts out there. I mean, what's he glaring at? Somebody's just turned the corner glaring. I'm not entirely sure what I've done to annoy him so much, but I can't see that side.
Nothing coming my way.
Darren has a habit of putting his big noggin in the middle when I'm trying to look out the window. And has the cheek to say I have a big round head.
Yeah, I've got a big round head. Big round head.
Tell you what, if you were female, you'd know all about you and your big round head. I said, when I saw that picture of him, I said...
What did you say, dear?
I'm not repeating it.
What did
Look
you
at the
say?
size of your head.
Marvellous head.
It was a picture of him when he was like 3, and all I could see was this tiny little skinny body with a massive head on top of it.
Are you going to describe my outfit?
And he was... No, I'm not. He was like showing me it because everybody thought it was such a cute photograph. Look at me waiting for the ice cream van. Everybody always seen it and went, oh, isn't it? I said, look at the size of your head. That head is responsible for me needing cesarean section. So there you go. On the actual growth charts, Isaac's head, if you're a mother, you will know this, you get charts in your little book where you have to mark off your child's height, weight and head circumference to see that they're developing normally within the percentile range. Isaac's was off the chart. I couldn't chart it. I couldn't plot it on the graph because it was off the chart. He's laughing. Cesarean section because of his head. Yes, Isaac sat in there saying nothing.
I don't have a big head.
Thankfully for Darren's mother, he was the 3rd child. I still don't understand how that tiny little woman gave birth to Darren. I don't get it.
What about that other tiny little woman with her first
No,
child?
don't.
What?
Why did you say it twice? I didn't.
What?
Oren and Padraig's mother, Isaac. I'm not even going to start going into detail, but there's 2 wee lads out here and they have the weirdest shaped heads you've ever seen in your life.
Avocados.
But really, you know Hey Arnold? It's not far away from that. They're really weird. I've never seen anything like it before. Just so that you know, there's nothing medically wrong with them, so I'm not being disrespectful. They've just got weird shaped heads, and their mother's really small, skinny little woman.
If you've ever watched Rick and Morty, where there's the scene where he goes, little bits. There's a restaurant that sells little food, little bits. He looks like little bits.
Oh my god, he does.
Little bits.
Yeah, we're such awful parents. Isaac watches Rick and Morty. I remember our next door neighbour We thought that the son was really tiny. We thought he was about 10, but it turns out he was like 15 or something. But we found out he had watched Deadpool when he was like 12 or something, and we were quite, because you know Deadpool's quite full on, isn't it? And it's like, well, they shouldn't be watching Deadpool at 12. You sort of get older and then you realise it's like, I don't know what Isaac's not watching at 13.
I've already watched it.
So you saw the PG version though.
I have Deadpool DVD.
So yeah, don't think there's anything of any interest to tell you other than Isaac finishing this week. Darren has a blood test tomorrow, and then on Tuesday he has to go and collect a machine to monitor his, oh that'll be fun, I'll film that. It's monitoring for, what's that, sleep apnea? Is it one of them things with the like, you have to let me film that.
I think the thing I'm picking up first of all is the hat.
Alright. Thought we were going to get that big thing with the big holes that comes out, so a CPAP machine or something. Thought we were going to get a laugh. So he's being like monitored to see if he's got sleep apnea, which I'm convinced he has. So he's picking up the machine on Tuesday, which is the day I'm also on at my mum's. Molly's got her groom tomorrow morning.
Is she getting the job?
Yep. Isaac finishes school on Wednesday for good for the summer, and excuse me, Thursday is my mum's birthday, 69, and is Isaac's grading for his brown belt. So quite busy this week.
Friday Scouts.
Friday's not Scouts, you're finished Scouts, Isaac, for summer. That Waterski was the last one. So your next Scouts will be Red Rose Camp. And as predicted, I did say to you that I was a bit hacked off that Ruben had been added at the last minute to the Waterski thing. Ruben, now he's been brought to a like skiing club, an actual venue that's hosting the thing. Not only was he told off by all the leaders independently for his behaviour, he was also told off by the people that run the Waterski club. So I'm sure you can imagine what his behaviour must have been like for them to tell him off, because generally, you know, people that aren't anything to do with Scouts would probably think plenty but not really tell the children off. They told him off.
I forgot to say about that. At one point I got to drive the boat.
You got to drive the boat, that's awesome. So Ruben did, as Ruben, what is that? That's a bird, it's a big bird.
Turd.
Ruben was just a little, you know what, all day long. It's just, it zaps the energy, and you know that your child's not going to be getting the full enjoyment because he'll be like that in their ear all day, trying to just be awful. I can't think of any other word. But I don't think there's anything other than that to update you with. It's been a slow week as always. It's not like there's much excitement happening. What? Oh, it's a bike. Jesus Christ. I thought it was two cars overtaking each other. It's on the wrong side of the road. I shall sign off for the week. I shall catch up with you at some stage next week. And yeah, maybe we'll have some more interest. Actually, we won't have more interesting things to film over summer, because Isaac's at that age where he doesn't want to do anything unless it involves a screen.
No.
So I shall speak to you guys next week. Thank you for watching. Over and out from Kit and Kapoor.